the mark of Mami Wata. I knew something was wrong the moment I woke up. My bed was wet, not damp, not sweaty, wet. My shirt clung to my skin like I had been pulled out of the river. The sheets smelled like the Wouri River, mud, fish, something deep and old. I sat up, my heart pounding. My first thought was that I had sleepwalked into the water, but my window was closed, my door still latched. I checked the ceiling, no leaks, no explanation. The sound of water echoed in my ears, even though the house was silent. Slow, steady waves moving in and out, like breath. Then I saw it, the bucket of water in the corner of my room. It was moving. The surface rippled, even though nothing had touched it. I couldn't breathe. This had been happening since that night, since Jules, since I saw her. Papa Simon took me to Tonton André, the old storyteller, and he had warned me.
She does not take without reason. If she let you go, it means she wants something from you.
I didn't believe him, but now I was marked. The whispers in the water. I left my room, trying to shake off the fear. Mama was in the kitchen, humming an old gospel song, the normal sounds of home. For a moment, I almost convinced myself that everything was fine. Then I stepped outside. The ground was dry, no rain last night, but my footprints, they were wet. Each step left a dark, damp mark on the ground, like I had just walked out of the river. I swallowed hard, my hands shaking. That's when I heard it.
The end.
A whisper. I spun around. No one was there, just the well.
Tu es à moi.
It came from inside the well. I stepped back so fast I nearly tripped. This wasn't my imagination, it was real. And it was getting worse. I needed to see Papa Simon, the mark. Papa Simon was outside, repairing a fishing net. When he saw me running toward him, one look at my face and he knew.
Elle t'a marqué,
he said quietly. She has marked you. I bent over, hands on my knees, trying to catch my breath. It's getting worse. The water, it moves, it speaks. Papa Simon didn't say anything. He just motioned for me to follow him inside. His house smelled of wood smoke and old herbs. A fire burned low in the corner.
show me your hands.
He said. I hesitated. My hands looked normal, shaking, but normal. Still, I stretched them out. The moment he saw them, he cursed under his breath. The lines on my palms, the natural creases of my skin, had changed. They formed a shape, a pattern I had never seen before. Waves, a spiral coiling into itself. I felt sick. She's calling you back, he murmured. The river does not forget. I clenched my fists. Then how do I stop this? Papa Simon didn't answer right away. He just stared at my hands, his face dark with something I had never seen before. Fear, the pool of the river. That night, I locked my door. I swore I wouldn't sleep. But at some point, exhaustion won. And when I opened my eyes, I wasn't in my bed. I was outside, at the river. The moon shone on the black water, making it shimmer like glass. My feet were in the mud, my toes sinking in. And in the middle of the water, she stood, smiling. Her skin was dark, smooth as stone, but her eyes were not human. They were endless, moving, shifting, like the river itself. I tried to turn away, but my body wouldn't move. The mud beneath me felt alive, like hands pressing into my skin. Ne la regarde pas. Tonton André's warning rang in my head, but it was too late. I looked, and she whispered my name. The river rippled toward me, waves forming even though there was no wind. I tried to move, to run, but my body was frozen. You are mine. The words weren't spoken. They were inside my head, in my chest, in my bones. A wave rushed toward me, too fast, too strong. It hit my legs, pulling me forward. I fought it. I screamed. Then I woke up, in my bed, but my feet were still wet. And outside, in the distance, the river was moving, calling, waiting, To be continued.